And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Duster Squad podcast. What have we been off for, gentlemen? Like a month? Month about? A little
It's been
over,
a
maybe?
minute.
Yeah,
That's
probably
how we
3
gotta do it.
weeks at
That's how we
least.
gotta do it now. We're all adults.
Yeah,
We all gotta work.
life and
That's
whatnot.
kind of how it is. That is kind of how it is. I don't even know if I had the mustache in the last
I
episode.
was
Not
gonna
this
bring that up.
strong.
I was like,
Not this strong.
yeah, definitely wasn't this distinctive of a
Yeah.
look if it was there.
Yeah, dude. When I was down there, your mustache was not that.
It was it was a baby mustache. Yeah, it's fully realized now. But listen, so I went down. Was it last weekend? I think it was last
think so.
weekend. Went
think
down
so.
and saw my new niece. She didn't like it.
Yeah,
She kept just looking at me like she had a
I
problem.
think it's the first mustache she's seen.
Yeah, it honestly is. Yeah, because my dad's got a full beard, so yeah, she's first mustache. So she just was like, "That's an
That's
odd looking human."
I didn't know they came looking like this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're doing all right. Baby seems pretty good to go. Very small though. You know what's crazy is she's 2 months old, and a little over, around 8 pounds.
Mhm.
And I was like, man,
Yeah.
that's small. And then I thought about
Yeah.
it. She was premature, a little bit premature.
Oh, well, that
Yeah.
makes sense then.
And then I was like, man, that's tiny. And then I thought about it, and I was like, when I was born, I was roughly half of that.
Same. Yeah.
Oh, you were a real tiny.
I was, yeah, dude.
I was 8 the day I was born. I was huge.
And 50% of it was noggin.
Not far off. Probably a good 30% of it anyway.
30%? Dang. Nice.
I don't
I
even
don't
know what I
know,
was.
but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Yeah, so listen, a lot has happened. Obviously, we're not going to get to it all. I think the last episode was the trade deadline, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right after it.
Yeah,
So
it was.
so yeah, it's been almost a month. We're coming up on just about a month. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's gone from, honestly, the weather here has changed drastically since then, because it was fairly chilly back in that time, and now this last week was just 80s every day. So we're getting there. We're getting there into summer. We still got another probably 10 degrees higher to get our peak in the 98 range. 98.
Jesus Christ.
We could crack the triple digits at some point once we get into the summer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've gotten used to it though. We've fully gotten used to it. So did not take that long. And on the opposite end, you guys are getting snow still.
Not much, but we're supposed to get some.
Dang.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks. I think was it 2 weeks ago? No, it was.
You
just
guys
a
got a
week
storm
ago.
like what? I think it was 2 weeks
It was
ago.
a week
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't this Saturday. It was the Saturday before. We got like a 8-inch snowstorm out in Plattsburgh at least. It was.
And then you lost
wild.
it all the next day, right?
It took a couple days, but yeah, then it warmed right up. Yeah, there was a couple 60-degree days. And the winter up here is like keeps throwing a few final punches and just won't fucking stop.
Yep.
Like it's to the point where even I'm like, all right, we can wrap this up.
We've been getting a lot of rain. Rain's been the killer here. Thankfully, the ground's thawed out. Like we don't have any more.
It's
like
not
frost
freezing on you. That would suck.
So it's not all like just pooling, but like our ditch went from being like pretty much empty and then chock full in a day because it rained so much. It's just
Yep.
You just shake your head.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy how different that is, because I want to say like, oh, bless you. I want to say like a month ago we were kind of roughly similar temperatures, and then now all of a sudden it's just like, well, that's how it goes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We got teased for a minute too. We had like a stretch of like 3 days of really like super nice spring weather,
like 60s, 50s, 60s,
60s, low 70s on at least one of the days. And then like 2 days later, it just got fucking cold again, and we're like, come on.
You're just trying to get out. Yeah. Are you still trying to do some golfing as well? Or are you kind of giving that up, Nick?
I mean, I'd love to eventually. It's just last year didn't do much, and
Yeah.
then I mean, I've thought about going to some simulators around here, but it's just you guys know how that goes. It's not. It's like it's
Oh,
okay to just
It's not.
tool around.
It can be a
It's
fun
fine.
afternoon, but it's not.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go there to scratch my itch of playing golf. You know?
It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Does not work.
I really want to. I want to. Although I only have like a season on the set of irons that I have right now, I want to just like get a really like decent set and just you have those the rest of my golfing career. Have those be
Yeah.
like the bag that you pass down to your kids in 40 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten so comfy with my set of clubs that I don't really think I'm ever, especially with how infrequently I play now. I'm never buying new ones, or I might like replace one or two
Yeah.
in time,
What if you
depending on what
what if you
happens.
break
but-
one? Ooh.
I mean, if I would, it would be by accident. I would probably just buy one replacement for something. Also, I've fully accepted the fact that whenever the next time I go golfing is, I'm just not even bringing my driver. I'm just doing 3-iron off the tee. I'm just doing 3-iron off the tee because I couldn't hit a driver
Ooh.
then. I'm
Yeah.
not
What makes
gonna.
you think you're gonna be able to do it now, right?
Bold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, irons I've always been best with anyway.
True.
That's what I hit the best with, so I'll probably just do that whenever I end up doing it. But I haven't played in like 2 or 3 years, I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't played since I think I played I think the last round I played was in Albany with my dad, Tony, and Danielle, and it was raining, and I actually
Ooh.
my back nine was actually nuts, dude. I got 5 pars in a row.
Damn.
Dude, I was
a good day.
absolutely smoking it.
That's a good day.
And that was a long ass time ago, and I haven't played since. I haven't even played down here. I moved down to the golf capital of the world, and
Yeah.
don't play.
I think
Do
I
you have
played
your clubs
twice
down there
last
with
year.
you? Yeah.
I brought him.
Oh, yeah, you can't move to Florida and not bring. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I brought him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been. Yeah, that would have been a
Yeah.
what a bonehead move that would have been.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave those up north. Funnily
Yeah.
enough, though, if I don't go this summer, I'm planning to when we fly up. I'm planning to pack them and bring them up because I'd like to, if we can, get a round in for the bachelor party, in at some point around in that weekend.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to try and get a round in. I don't even care where.
Rick, I got a
North Point.
spare bag for you if you want it. I don't want to use it.
Or I also there. If you don't want to bring one up here, Nick, I have like my grandpa buys so many golf clubs. There's like 4 sets worth of extra clubs in his garage in Burke. So I'm like, we can make something work. I think that's what we did the last time.
Yeah,
Eric played with us.
Yeah.
yeah. You guys, remember that? Oh, that was funny. We got him
That
with
was
I feel like
exploding
best
day.
best
Floating
ball
ball day.
is like the best way to do it with a group. It's so fun. Or like if you can divide it into 2 teams or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Best ball
yeah.
can be really fun.
Yeah, we got him with the fake ball.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, I forgot about that.
The exploding ball. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like what? That's like I think that was like hole 3 or something.
We were back up by the
Yeah.
clubhouse.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah.
It was that
I remember
long
when we
ass,
did it.
long straight par 5 down towards the lake.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? Try another one, Rick." He just steps up.
And the whole time, I'm just like, I don't know how to drive a golf ball, so I'm really focused on my swing. I'm not thinking about, oh, this could be a fake.
Yeah,
golf
no,
ball.
that was probably the perfect swing. You would have had a fucking 300-yard drive on that
Yeah.
swing, but we had to fuck you.
I can't believe the one time I'd actually drive a ball straight. It was a fake.
It was full of baby powder or whatever that is.
That's the one time I've ever actually gotten somebody with one of those. Like I've hit one of them just on my own just to see what it looked like, but I've never actually. That was the first time I actually
Oh,
was there.
that was funny. And then he tried.
Yeah.
tried to take revenge on us by hitting me with a ball.
Oh, yep. Accidentally, sorry.
No, that happens. Dude, that's what happens when you got Nick, dude. Nick's like, gotta go. We gotta go hit the ball. We gotta go hit the ball. We're like we're like 100 yards in front of you, like right where you're gonna hit the ball.
Like a dog, I just gotta be like, ball, go.
Whether
Yeah,
it's
dude.
that or buttons or you're riding in a passenger seat in a video game and you have to shoot and or throw an explosive out the window, one or the other.
Speaking of that, dude. Speaking of that, GTA 6, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't think an Xbox One can run that game right. So
Wait a
Nope.
minute. There's been
No,
news?
you might be out unless you upgrade.
I don't think they're releasing it on Xbox One. No.
There's been GTA news.
Oh,
GTA
yeah.
6 is
6
coming
is
out this year. It's supposed to
soon,
be.
sometime. Yeah, they haven't. I don't think they've announced like a
Oh,
final date. But
I thought there was an actual date. Okay, I was like, that's huge. But
Yeah.
other than that, I really don't care because I don't trust them. So
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, dude, it's been 12 years since GTA 5.
that's crazy. Like,
You
actually,
think their lobby and matchmaking is going to be any better than last time?
Oh,
I would hope
I sure hope
'cause it
so.
was,
Jeez, we're a decade
Pretty fucking bad.
farther into
it was
technology.
it was pretty tough back in the day. The matchmaking and like party making and private. It was
Yeah, it was bit.
it left much to be desired.
Yep. Yep.
The amount of times that we would try to get in the same lobby together and we'd have to fucking
Yeah.
like
It was so hard,
and
dude.
restart now.
It was so hard. And then you'd get
Yeah.
in, and then you just get killed by some dude that bought shark
Some
cards.
douchebag who's
and-
got a fucking plane that's just gonna shoot rockets at you the whole time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be it'll be a similar experience.
Or
I
you
bet.
get 3/4 of the way through a mission and some dipshit comes and fucks it up on you too.
No, the dipshit was you. You would always, you would
couldn't-
always sabotage our heist for no fucking reason in
Yeah,
like
but
the
couldn't you
last
still
2
do
minutes.
missions? Couldn't people in your parties, like in the whole lobby, still fuck up your mission if you
There
were
were
doing
some
it?
missions that were it took place like
Yes,
it
it took
took
place in the
place
real
in the-
time.
yeah.
Some of them,
There was
not
some
all of
like
them,
that,
but
yeah.
there definitely were some of them. But the amount of times, man, you'd get fucking
Listen.
5 stars on us out of nowhere.
Then we just gotta let him drive. That's what we should have done. Because there you go.
You know,
He's
yeah.
hitting his buttons. He's got it.
Yeah, I would have been occupied.
And then we can
guys
be the ones
fucked up.
shooting out.
Ben always wanted to be the one to fly a fucking plane, though.
Ben was the pilot slash
I was good at piloting in
driver.
that game. I was pretty good.
yeah,
Driving less so, but
driving.
I could pilot a
Danielle,
helicopter.
we've been playing through. Man, we're on a tangent right now. Dale and I have been playing through it on the TV, and she's quite bad at driving, but I let her do it anyway. All right. Well, hey,
husband, Mike.
the biggest news, really, and it's from today. New goal record, new all-time leading goal scorer in the NHL. And Rick, I'll let you start it for obvious reasons.
yeah. Oh my god. I was so. I guess I'll start with the fact that it was against the Islanders, obviously. And I was talking to my dad the other day. Ticket prices at UBS, tickets for that game went from $200 to $2,000 and above. Within
Jesus Christ.
Because I watched the Chicago Caps game where
I did
Ovechkin
as well.
tied the
Yeah,
record.
chunk of it anyway.
And yeah, the second he tied it, because it was a 2-goal game for him. That's when those ticket prices went flying up. Everyone was scrambling
Yeah.
to get tickets. But yeah, wow, what a moment. I actually didn't get to watch it live this afternoon. I think I threw the game on. I used like cable info for TNT because I'm blacked out with Islanders games. I can't watch them.
Right.
Yeah. So I finally got that up and running, and it was after the goal, but I rewound everything to like watch it live again on the stream. And what a moment. What an amazing moment. I just think, I'll pass it off to someone else next, but I just think it's amazing, at least for me, like growing up and watching hockey with my dad and him talking about, especially as an Islanders fan, how that really good Islanders team that won 4 cups in a row had to battle Gretzky the first time and they beat him. But then, Gretzky was the young blood, kind of took the league over for a bunch of years. So the fact that a record from that generation is broken by a player who, is from our generation, that's just unbelievable. Yeah. Like, that is just so cool that we got to see that. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing.
Sho
That's the thing that's cool for me is we've been around to see it.
The whole thing.
Basically
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe can't
Yeah.
remember some of the early stuff, but man, it's pretty cool. Man, it's a
So
lot of
cool.
goals.
So cool. Yeah.
That's cool that he did it on the same team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all on the same
For
team.
sure.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
Dang.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I did love that in Chicago once he got the 2, he literally told his coach that he didn't want to go out for
Yeah.
empty net time because he's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yep.
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna at least for the last one, we're gonna
Yeah.
make
We're gonna do it right.
we're gonna make the one something that'll be a really cool highlight to
Exactly.
be
Yep.
able to play, not
So
just an empty netter.
Not to
'Cause that
mention
would
it
have
was
been
a
kind of
freaking
lame.
snipe too.
Yeah. So
Well, it
guys,
was a power play 1T. What else?
Patented.
What else?
I have a really cool stat actually that I just I forget the name of the other podcast I was listening to that said this, but I almost kind of had a feeling it might happen today against the Islanders. In terms of active goalies that haven't let a goal in against Ovechkin ever, Ilya Sorokin was one of them. I don't know if he was the only one or one because like I don't know if they count backup goalies in there who might not play as many games, right? Who technically have
Sure.
goal.
Yeah.
But Ilya Sorokin has never let Alex Ovechkin score on him. And the first time that the first time that Ovechkin scores on him is the record breaker.
The record setter.
You could not draw that up any more perfect. Like it's just ridiculous. So and obviously, you know, Russian to Russian, that also kind of made it funny. I'm sure they probably chat off of the ice. So
Well,
Yep.
I guess they had that like mid game ceremony. I didn't watch it in real time,
they
but
did.
in it, Ovi said, "And thank
Yeah.
you to Ilya Sorokin
Yeah.
for letting me score this one last one," or something along those lines.
Nice.
And I thought that was good.
Yeah. No, that was great. He said, "Thank you, Sorokin. Love you, brother." It's like,
I wonder if he would have said that if it was not a fellow Russian.
yeah. No, that's I was wondering that too.
They're all pretty close because they had Cooch and Vassy. They recorded a little video just saying congrats to him. And Vassy was like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I could help you on your way to this record. Yeah, so hey, so I didn't get to see it because it was TNT, and I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, shit, they're putting they're nationalizing it because they know people want to watch. I was like,
Yeah.
shit, I guess I'm not watching. But I guess the next question is, I mean, he's got, was that 42 on the year? Was it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, does this guy play for another couple years and get to 1,000? Like, look for trying to get to 1,000. He's gonna get 900. There's like a
Yes.
1% chance that he doesn't get to 900.
How many more years does he have on his contract? Because didn't he already say like I'm not signing again?
I don't
know that there's ever been anything solid, but the word has always been that pretty soon he's probably gonna and I think he has one more year on his deal.
Does he want to go back to the K and play a little bit too?
Yeah, he wants to go
does.
back home to Russia and play in the KHL a little bit. So it wouldn't shock me now that it's done and dusted, and he has one more year to, you know, pile up a little more on top of that.
Give himself a little bit more cushion before Matthews and Draisaitl start sniffing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, but I don't know if I mean, he's a competitive monster. I don't know if maybe if he gets to like another 40 45-ish goals next year and he sees he's like 55 away from 1,000, he'd be like,
He'd be like,
that
"Oh,
nice round
shit."
number could be cool.
Dude, imagine he's like signs another like 2-year contract or whatever, hits 1,000, and that game is like, all right, see ya. Walks back into the locker room and just
He's like,
mid-season
"I'll
retire.
the rest of my contract." Yeah.
Mid-season retire.
He's got
I
money.
want 1,000 exactly, and no one will ever touch it.
I think that's an interesting question because I think the other part of this that's relevant is the fact that the Capitals are set up to be a pretty decent team for the next few years too. Like they did a great job kind of, you know, patching things up in the offseason. So I think Ovechkin, it's not like he's like, well, the Caps are in a rebuild phase. I've done what I needed to do. that'll be it for me. Like, they
Yeah.
Because
they-
Ovi's not even their leading points getter right now. Well, maybe he is now, but as of earlier in the week, last week he wasn't.
yeah, wasn't it?
Wasn't it Dylan Strom?
Look,
I thought
One of
I
the
was gonna say
Stroms?
Strom.
One of the Stroms.
Dylan,
to run that.
Dylan Strom is the one that's there.
Yeah, Dylan Strom. Yeah.
Dylan Strom,
Yeah, isn't he at, like,
70,
78 or something
75
like that?
points.
Wow.
See, and this is where I get scared of the Capitals in the playoffs. That is one balanced effort right there.
Yeah.
Woo! Dude, it's 75, 68, 66, 63, 61, 55, 50, 47. Like, it's the steepest drop off is after Chikrin at 47 points. It goes all the way down to 28 with Rasmus Sandin. That is balanced,
Yeah, that's
to
real
say
good.
the least.
That's real good.
But yeah, he does have one more year after this one. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing that's like crazy is like it's not even a lot of the times with a record like this and with a player of this, this age, he'd hit it, but it'd be like part of like a 15 goal season or something.
Yeah,
Like this dude
Yeah.
just potted 42 again
at 39.
Just
at
shy of
whatever.
40.
Yeah,
I
like
think he's
With
39.
7 games left in the season,
he's
so he
still
could have another-
outscoring his age.
It's just
Yeah.
holy.
And not only that, the team is top of the East. Like it's insane to me. It's insane to me. It's about as good as you could hope for, I guess, because you don't really. It's kind of like Crosby. It's kind of like the opposite of Crosby.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I was thinking.
Crosby's on this just team that's just ass and not going anywhere. And
But didn't Crosby? So the night Ovi tied the record, didn't Crosby get a hattie that night too?
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
Crosby's still killing it.
He's
That's
still an
the thing,
incredible
he's on
player.
an island though. He doesn't. He's in fucking Pittsburgh. That's the problem.
It's him and
On a
that's
team
it.
that on paper should be better than they are, but they're not.
They're just old.
I-
They're just so old.
They
'Cause
they
they're
could
old,
be
yeah.
somewhat better. I would argue on paper, there's nothing about that roster that suggests they should be amazing. The management
Well,
has been.
that roster 10 years ago. would be
Yeah,
good.
that's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's they're just their star is from like 10 years ago, like maybe even like 7 years ago. Like holy
Like-
shit. But like it's not. It's
that roster in
2025.
2018 would be ripping shit up. Like, yeah, that'd be great. But the problem is, it's 2025. Like, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Give me the stat in the past 10 years when Letang or Malkin haven't been injured during a single season.
I don't think you
It's
can.
usually one of the two is injured at any given time. I think they're both
Letang-
healthy right now, but
Letang crazy health issues though, so maybe that's not the best.
yeah,
poor
some of
guy.
that was not entirely like blood clots. Like, what are you gonna? Sometimes
Yeah, those are
shit
weird.
happens, but
Those are weird.
But still. Yeah. I just man, do you guys think that he should have this is kind of funny on SDPN. Jesse Blake was saying they should sit Ovechkin until the Thursday game against Carolina so he can break
they
the
could
record.
do it at home.
He's broken the record already, but yeah, so he could break the
Yeah.
record at home in front of the Caps fans. Would you guys I don't know, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that'd be cool, like way cool if like they
No.
No,
Why would
because he
you
wouldn't
take-
have done it anyway.
Why would you
I
take
mean,
chances
that
away
happened.
from him to do it? I mean, he was clearly going to do it
Yeah.
at that point, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do that?
I mean,
The-
we say that, but there's plenty of times where guys have gone on a stretch and haven't scored in like 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So there's always a possibility that he might not have, but yeah.
Now he had another year left, and it was 1 goal.
Well, this season, man,
Right.
this
Oh,
season.
this season. Yeah, this season. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah,
definitely a
'cause
chance.
He wasn't gonna go a whole fucking season without scoring.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
True,
gonna
very
say,
true.
that would be really awkward, right? Like the Caps have one home game left against Carolina, who's pretty good defensively, right? So imagine it's like you sit him, you wait until that game, and then he doesn't score it. Then there's like this pressure for no reason. you
And he's
know?
like-
yeah.
Andy's like out of practice. Like
Yeah,
he comes in and he's just like missing the net over and over again
Yeah.
because he hasn't shot in like he hasn't played a game in like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. I think
I mean-
they keep him playing, and they did, and it worked. So
yeah.
all right.
I also think now that he's got it all done, that makes it that much easier for them to like
Now they
last
can
2
just
games
rest him,
before the
sit him.
playoffs. Yeah,
Sit his ass.
it would have
Yeah.
been nice if he could have done it at home, but like Hey,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
you don't. No.
All right. Let's have a look here because you may have thought that the standings would maybe spread out a little bit. And I
Oh,
guess to a
no.
point they have. But for that second wild card in the East, it is still hotly contested. Although there's a little bit of a gap right there. Not too bad of a gap right there.
There's a
Benny's Canadians currently holding the second wild card spot. The
Dude.
one year he doesn't put them in.
Yeah.
Don't look at the game scored tonight because they're playing Nashville, and you
Oh.
can see that it's the second night of a back-to-back. But
Nashville's
regardless,
playing like they should have all season long.
I mean,
Or the Canadians
just
just
some
tired.
of the shit they gave up. I'm like, okay, yeah, they just.
Oh, Boston
yeah.
officially
Anyhow.
eliminated. Let me just throw that out there. What
Yes,
a skid
I
from
am-
them. Holy shit.
I'm fairly
Let's go.
certain the game last night that Habs won, both Boston and Philadelphia became eliminated
Let's
when that happened. I saw that going around online anyway. I don't know how.
Oh my god, they have
verified
the
that is,
same
but-
exact record, dude. 31, 37, and 9. 77 games
Oh,
played.
wow.
Literal same record.
Yeah.
How about Buffalo getting
That-
out of the basement? Good job.
Yeah, they're playing good as soon as it is adverse for them.
They
Like,
did that
as soon as
last
it's-
time, dude. Did
Yeah,
they not do the
as
same
soon
thing?
as it's terrible for them, they're playing great, which is
Guys.
like, okay.
I've never seen a play. Tage Thompson looks like he's an untouchable player when Buffalo's like pretty much out of the playoffs. He's like, you know what? Back to Tage Thompson from what was
Dude.
it, 3 years ago? It's like, dude, why?
Yeah,
Why?
absolutely.
Don't get it.
Dude, he dangled. Who the hell he dangled? They played the Lightning last night and won in the shootout.
Yeah.
He dangled somebody in OT, and I was like, oh dear lord. It was so nice, and I was like, he's gonna snipe this, dude. And it was Johansson in the net, and he played well, and they lost, and I'm so mad. Whatever.
That third spot in the East is still up for grabs too.
The you talking about?
The spot that the Ice Caps are in, right, or Ice Cats are in right now.
Oh yeah,
Florida?
no, yeah. There's still a lot of
Oh,
shuffling
yes.
going on. Oh yeah, you
Ottawa-
guys are right
Get it
there.
on that
Because Ottawa has been picking their shit up like
Yeah, so
crazy,
Ottawa
crazy
played-
well.
Yeah. So the last two games, Forsberg's been playing goalie, and he's got like 76 of like 77 shots stopped in the
dude.
last two games, or
Dude.
something crazy like that.
The Ottawa's goalies, they've
They've been killing it.
They
holy
shut out.
shit.
They shut out Florida last night or yesterday afternoon. Granted,
Yeah.
Florida's got a lot of injury issues.
It
So it's like it's a nice win, but it's also like that's not their real roster.
Yeah, you got to kind of temper the expectations a little bit. It's like
I mean, yeah, they did
But it was
just.
still a
I
shutout
love-
at the end
I
of the
love
day,
my
so.
Habs, but they just beat the Panthers twice in a row. Like,
yeah,
the Panthers
exactly,
are in a spot. They're in a spot right now.
They're
but-
struggling for sure, but I think the Panthers. I see them sort of in the same vein as I saw the Lightning a few years ago when they were doing their thing. It was like they don't really care. They just get in, like just get in, and then
they know what to do once
they'll
they get
they'll
there,
figure it
yeah.
out. I see that in the same kind of vein, dude. That Atlantic side of the bracket, corner of the bracket, there's no easy series. There's not gonna be. There's no like remember the Rangers Caps last year? That's not happening in the Atlantic.
Oh,
And then and then the Habs, avoid if it stays the current path, the Habs avoid being in the Atlantic only to play Washington in the first round.
Only to play 107-point Washington Caps.
And that's where
Woo!
I want to see Ottawa if they can push and get that third spot, because right now, they have to play Toronto.
Yeah, right now they're playing Toronto.
Yes.
I'd rather get in the third spot and play Tampa than play or the fourth.
You
excuse
sure?
me. Yeah, I'm sure.
I think I would be too, dude. They play the Lightning
Especially
very well.
this year.
They play the Lightning very. Dude,
The
everybody
Sens-
in the
Sens
freaking
swept
Atlantic.
The season series. The Sens swept the season series against the Leafs this year.
I know, but there's so much like
playing Leafs great.
expectation with Tampa, or not Tampa, excuse me, Toronto this year. It's like I keep seeing all this shit going around the internet. They're like conspiracy theories talking about like, oh, the last time that the that the Bruins and this other team missed the playoffs was back when they won the cup, and I'm like,
Which
I
means
see it
nothing.
all the
Yeah.
time, and I know it's like I totally agree with you. It means nothing.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's just no easy fucking series, man. There's no
No,
team that
no.
you're gonna play where you're gonna be like, get them in 5 games. Like, it's just not gonna happen in the Atlantic. I think Nick doesn't want to be the team that lets Toronto through again. That's what Nick doesn't want, because that's what I
I
didn't
mean,
want.
that's fair.
And then it happened,
But
and I was like, shit.
I also think the Sens would have them. I don't.
Yeah, but the
I
Sens have
don't
been trying to
think that
get
would-
back to good for so long. It's been almost 10 years. I feel like,
Yeah.
what was it? It was 2016 when we saw
27
that.
2017 was their
Okay.
last playoff appearance, so 8 years.
And that
But,
was
yeah, it's still-
that was a
It's felt
conference
like an
final, too.
eternity. They've been so bad, you know. There's been so
Yeah.
much happening, and then like for the first year to, if you know, they're. I think it's almost a given that they're going to get in some way, shape, or form.
They gotta be.
It's not mathematically guaranteed, but in all logical sense, yeah,
They gotta
in.
be
Yeah.
close. They gotta be close to actually getting the
Yeah.
the clinch.
Yeah.
Actually, I wondered what is there 6 games left for a lot of teams.
Yeah, 6 for a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I think if you win 2 more games, I think you're in.
They
Basically.
play the Habs in next game.
Oh, that's a big. Well,
Yes.
that's a big-ish game. Bigger
Yeah.
for the Canadians, I would say.
Yes. Yeah.
No, they have another game in between. They play tomorrow.
It's gonna be interesting.
Ooh,
It's gonna be
Habs
interesting.
get him on the second half of a back-to-back. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it Wednesday?
Nope. I stand corrected. Sorry, they shut out the Blue Jackets today.
Also, thank you for that. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That rules.
So another shutout. 2 straight nights of shutouts for the Senators goalies. One Forsberg, one Allmark.
Well, see, that's huge too. Like the difference for the Sens, it's gonna be fun when they're in the playoffs because they're not riding a goalie's like crazy. Like they're not riding like a hot goalie or anything. They just have 2 really solid. Well, I mean, Forsberg's pretty solid, but Allmark is like your guy.
Yeah. Mike, we might even be sniffing after that number 2 spot.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
Who
right.
knows?
Yeah, calm down. Calm
Yeah.
down.
Right. Yeah. You better
who knows,
calm
but-
down over there. The only thing I'd be nervous about with the Sens, and we'll go back to the Canadians because that's where we started, but we'll go back to the Canadians after this. But I'd be nervous if the goalies don't show up.
Yeah.
Because you've been
Yeah.
toasty hot, but it's been on the back of the goaltenders. And we saw earlier in the season what happens when that's not the case. And
Yeah.
it's not bad, but it's not this.
Well, so this is what their remaining games look like. So they play the Blue Jackets again Tuesday.
Big
Then they play the Canadians Friday.
man.
Then they play the Flyers. Then they play the Blackhawks, and they close the season against the Hurricanes.
Oh, that's a
Damn.
that's a
Well, they got
not too bad schedule.
I mean, I know they haven't played well against the Canadians this year, and playing the Hurricanes at the end of the season.
They
Like
haven't.
last game isn't great either, but those 3 of those 5 games, or 4 of those 6 games, should be pretty easy wins. You know.
The Hurricanes will probably be resting a bunch of people if you play them last game of the season because they've already clinched. So I mean,
it
I
also
hope
depends
so,
on what
because I
Ottawa
have
does
seen 'em
too,
last
right?
game.
Like, who knows how things are going to shake out over the next week
yeah, that's true.
or 2, right? So like, they could be in the same boat. Who knows?
Yeah.
We do. So this means we have to have one more pod before playoffs start because
Yeah.
we got to make our pre-playoff predictions.
Oh yeah, you know it, dude. So what's today? The 6th. So man, is
I'll
it
be
gonna
in Florida next. Oh, actually, I'll be back.
You're the 14th. You'll be down there, correct? 14th to the 18th, the Monday to the Friday. So you'll be back for the 19th and the 20th, which is when it'll get going, I believe.
Yeah.
So we might have to do
Yeah.
one game in, 1 or 2 games in. Might have to throw it in there, but you
Or if
know
we
it.
sneak it in
You
next
know it
weekend.
doesn't mean anything because we're always wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
well,
you know, if the Habs actually get a spot there, I'm calling Cup. Like,
Of course. I mean, you have to. You have
I want to see Ben's notebook with his drawings in it. Getting right
I
in
still,
that bracket.
I still have
Hold
the
it
same
up.
notebook.
Hold it up.
I don't know where, but I have the same notebook. But the last, where is the last one? I don't know. There's 2 or 3 of them in here. But
Well, hey, we started this conversation in Montreal. So let's head back there. It's very likely, knock on wood, knock on some wood, everyone,
Yeah, I knocked.
They got to keep it up. They got to
that
keep it up.
that
But
they are going to be in the playoffs here, and not a long drought because they were in 2021 in the shortened year, but
then before that, it was 20. Well, I mean, if you want to count 2020 with the whole play-in
yeah,
against
true,
Pittsburgh,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't. The last time they were like in a normal season, not to say I'm not trying to discount the COVID Cup year, but you get what I mean. Normal
Yeah,
season, normal circumstances
regular divisions.
was 2017.
Was PK there still?
So, no, it was the year after. It was the first year that Weber was there.
Is that when
Um,
that's one of Carey's last seasons, right? Like last full seasons before he had.
Yeah, before he had like went through a bunch of injuries, and then
Yeah.
the 2021. The more we look back on it, the more it was just a bunch of guys being like, "All right, we're just one
Final-
last shot,
Final chance.
Yeah, pretty much. But so first time since 2017 that they're like in a normal year, hopefully making it back in the playoffs. They got to lock it down and keep getting points to round out the year. But last night in particular was huge in that both Columbus and the Rangers lost while the Habs won, and then Columbus lost again today. I would like if they could get their shit together against Nashville tonight. That would be swell. But
Not allowed. It's not allowed.
if they can at least get this shit to overtime, get one more point, just get a little bit of stat padding here, they would be in a pretty good spot. And that's about as convicting as I'm going to get with all of this, because they still got to hold on. They still got to keep going. But what a year it's been. And I guess I'll end the Habs talk with, I was lucky enough to be at the game last night.
Oh.
It
Saw
was
that.
a
Yes,
fun
you were.
time against Philly. Although it didn't start all that fun. Philly scored like 2 or 3 minutes in, and then the rest of the first and the second were both. It was 1-0 going into the third. It was not not the most exciting of games. But then third. Oh yes, Eric.
I wanted to ask you. Sorry, I just wanted to ask you about that game. How was it seeing that Lane Hudson goal in person? Because holy shit, dude!
That was nuts. I don't know. I mean, Eric, I'm guessing based on that, you've seen the angle that shot was from. But it was really fun in that where our seats are. I was looking like it's not on the goal line, but like on an angle, pretty much at the goal line, for the Flyers goalie. And I saw it go in and hit the side of the net and come out, and I was like up out of my seat like a solid second before everybody else, because it took the ref pointing for everybody to realize it went in, because it was in and out fast. But
Ooh,
it ruled.
Yeah,
it was great. That
That's
goal
like
was sick.
That's a straight up impossible angle right there.
Yeah, no, it was a hell of a shot, hell of a goal. They came out in the third flying. I missed the first goal because I thought I was gonna be fine, because I was only like a minute into the, like, after intermission. I was grabbing a beer and a hot dog.
There you go.
And
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting at the end of the door from the concourse, watching one of the TVs they got up, and Galley scores his 20th of the year. Brendan Gallagher, 32-year-old Brendan Gallagher, 20th of the year, which is wild. Loving that. I was wearing my Galley jersey last night, so it felt
nice.
felt appropriate.
Very nice.
And then Nick Suzuki, ridiculous shorthanded goal later in that period too, where he went in to kill time, picks up the puck behind the Philly net, just sort of wraps around the Philly net and sort of weaves around 3 Philly guys, and then puts a shot through a screen and it goes in. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I love this. So great night last night. My mom and I had a fantastic time.
I got a question.
And Habs hockey.
How much is the beer now?
That's a good question.
It's still hovering around $13-14 for
all right.
and that's Canadian. So
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
not. I mean,
What
it's
the
still
hell, man?
a ripoff. Still a ripoff.
You want to know what's a
That's what
ripoff?
like,
You want to know
American?
a ripoff? Sorry, go ahead.
What's that?
Nick. What
That's bad timing.
It really is.
No, well, I thought I heard Nick say something about beer by me or UBS, because it's still like $16 to $18. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So
That's
Montreal,
American. Holy shit.
Montreal's great. Yeah, if you get food too, forget about it. Just don't
I
don't
guess.
don't
It's
get
so
food.
ridiculous, man.
But,
All right,
Nick,
Nick.
you are
Nick,
unfrozen.
you
So what
appear
were
to
you
be
about
back.
to say?
Yes.
The moment has passed. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
What's a ripoff?
This
Mike?
is what's a ripoff. All right. Eric came and Eric saw it. We went to an Iceman game when he visited. And
Yeah,
dude, it's ECHL. It's not even AHL, guys. And the beer is 14 American dollars.
Yeah, it is.
Are you kidding me here?
Damn, that's wild.
We didn't get beers. Yeah.
Is this real?
Is that at least like the big can, like the big?
It's the tall boys, but like,
But-
what the hell?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
When we went out to that concert in Buffalo, it was like $18 a can. It was fucking-
ECHL.
Yeah, stadium food continues to be.
You know where is
dude.
nice?
Just the worst.
Let me tell you where it's
Utah.
nice. Probably Utah. Yeah, Utah and
No, they're Utah pricing. That shit rules.
That Arizona
They-
is it Arizona? Atlanta? Was it Atlanta Hawks
Oh,
did one too?
in the NFL, yeah. One of the I
One of
can't
the
remember. I
NBA,
think it
another
is
NBA
Atlanta.
one did it too, I think. But the AAA baseball team, the Jumbo Shrimps. What a bunch of beauties. $2 hot dogs. And I want to say it's $8 for a 16-ounce beer, but it's a local craft lager.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so
$8
it's nice.
for like
Yeah.
16 ounce. I'm like, dude,
That's
this
not
is
$8 for a tall boy of Bud Light.
no. Get your Bud
Right,
Light out of
yeah.
here. Take
No,
take.
I think he's saying that's it's better, or maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying that's why, like, so you're saying it's better than getting $8.
Oh, yeah.
Like getting
Bud Light.
shafted for
It
a
really
fucking
only
can of
costs
Bud
like
Light.
$3 when you go to a fucking
Yes,
dollar,
yes, very
gas
yeah.
station.
Yeah.
And I looked at it today. I was looking at games from when my parents are going to be down because they want to go. And August 1st, they're having a $2 Miller Lite night.
Oh damn.
Dude,
That-
crushing Miller Lights at
I was
$2
saying,
a
I
pop.
don't like Miller Lite that much, but for $2 a beer, I like Miller Lite a whole lot.
Yeah, seriously, dude. I was like, oh
That's
my
great.
gosh. Like I love the Jumbo Shrimps, man. I'm all in on the Jumbo
Yeah, no, that
Shrimps.
sounds good.
It's good lager
Do
too.
they play in the
Intuition
Savannah
Brewery.
Banana League?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think
No,
so.
No,
It's
I think
AAA.
they're just
I don't know.
AAA baseball is known
real.
for
It's
coming
real
up with
baseball.
some goofy ass names. Like that's because they're
Yeah.
like we need a shtick to get people like there's like I remember isn't there like a Pizza Rats in New York somewhere in New York?
They've
I
been
know
doing a
there's
bunch of different ones. There was one that was a pierogi. It was like some kind of
Yeah.
something pierogies.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
they
like
do
the
special
pickles.
Jersey
There's like
nights all
pickles
the
and
time
stuff.
too. Yeah, they get fun with that. I do like that. I
The
do
dill
enjoy that.
picklers.
Guys, the Jumbo Shrimp are great, but also the Coca-Cola Corner at City Field. That's pretty great too.
Is that where
So
we
you
You know,
were?
guys
if we
want-
ever
You guys want to come back? Yeah, Coca-Cola Corner, dude.
if we
Go
ever
see
go
Juan Soto?
again,
Hell
we
yeah.
gotta get seats in that area again because having
And-
like our section's own bathroom and concessions.
Dude, it was like
was
private.
nuts.
It was like private
Yeah.
with the few other people that were in that
And
section.
Like, that was a fantastic accidental good purchase there because I remember we were just looking at like this map and like finding an okay priced ticket and then we
Yeah,
get there and that's all there. I'm like, oh shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remember what I sent in the group chat too? For $12.99 you get the baseball helmet full of 12 hot dogs, 12 glizzies. That's right.
Now we
Turn
could
those
make
around, oh
ourselves
my
sick
goodness.
and
I'll
share
say-
3 of them. Or we
I'll
could just
say-
share one.
I
For,
think one might do it.
And be smart about it.
I think one might do it. Yeah.
I think
Guys,
that's a
If we're
good
really
choice.
feeling frisky, bump it to 2.
Yeah, good too.
come on, 4 of us, 12 glizzies. That's fucking 3 glizzies a person.
I
That's
could
not
probably
bad.
do 6 dogs. I could probably do 6 dogs in a
Yeah,
game.
you-
Come on, Mike.
What? You don't think I could? It would take me all
No.
game, but
I've seen you order from fast food before and get extra and be like, nope. I'm
dude,
done."
I like having leftovers, man.
Mike orders 20 nuggets, eats 6 of them.
I
Puts the
got
rest
5.
away.
I got 5 in the fridge. I got 5 in the fridge right now. All right. Eric, do you have to go? Do you want to duck out right now or do you want to wait for a little bit?
I probably sooner than later. I did before I go. Just want to do my little Islanders
Oh
segment.
yes,
Islanders
yes,
corner,
please
yeah.
do, please do.
So obviously, the most exciting thing that's happened to the Islanders was Ovechkin scoring on them. That's pretty much the most exciting thing that's happened in the past month, I'd say.
Hey,
for the
they
Islanders.
beat him after that.
Great, yeah. Look at them go. Look at them go. So actually, that's a great place to start, Ben. So they won their second game in a row, which is really great when you're trying to make the playoffs, and is also really great after you lost 6 in a row when trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
No,
You
that's actually not great.
you gave
That's fucking
you gave
horrible.
yourself a bit of a hole to dig out
Yeah.
of, but you know,
Yeah.
they've dug a couple shovels full out of it, you know?
Yeah, no. The Islanders have been on a pretty bad losing streak. Pretty much every meaningful game, where it's like, hey, this is a big one, they've dropped it. They finally broke the winning streak against Minnesota, 3-1 a few days ago, and then they beat the Capitals today. I again, it's just gonna. At one point, the Islanders were on a bit of a heater, I will say. They were on a slight heater. But, again, the way that team is assembled, they're so streaky. I figured they probably wouldn't make the playoffs. And it's looking like they're not going to. The only
Hey,
notable,
they're still there. They could.
yeah,
They got
the
a
only
chance, a slight chance.
the only thing that I want to mention about them in terms of like actual like Islanders news, one, Matt Barzell is still out. He's not going to come back probably before the end of the season. What's the point? Too like there's no point. And Anthony Duclair, I don't know if you guys have been following this.
I saw that sort of
Patrick
briefly,
Waugh
but what's the
Patrick Waugh was laying into Anthony Duclair about like he's lucky he has a spot on the roster, just going off.
Woo.
And Anthony
Damn.
Duclair. And Duclair, to be fair, has not been playing great at all. I know he's a depth piece, but like he does add, he's supposed to add some offensive, a little offensive spark to the group. Duclair and Waugh had a long conversation. I think this was earlier in the week, and it was a positive one. Both parties said it was a positive one, apparently. And Duclair was granted a leave of absence, so he is just not playing right now because he just needs time to, I guess, work on certain parts of his game or just like take a second.
Think about how
maybe-
ass he's been all season.
or maybe there's something more
But yeah,
something that just isn't being said under the hood. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe going on with him, but
Some kind of
And
personal thing.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Is like everything in a Lou Lamoriello organization is just kept under
yeah, you're
lock.
never gonna get an answer from
Like,
that.
what am I-
yeah,
yeah, I'm not gonna get an answer until Duclair's on a podcast like 5 years from now, and someone
Yeah.
remembers to ask
Yep.
him a question about
Yep.
this. So,
hey, what
but-
happened in that last like couple
Yeah.
weeks of the season when you're on the island? What?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it for Islanders news. Very boring, but those are the updates. They're not going to make the playoffs. Raise your hand if you thought they were going to make the playoffs in this trap.
I'm
Well,
fairly
when?
certain I had
What-
them.
What point of the year? What point in the year? At the beginning?
beginning.
Yeah.
Beginning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought there was a decent chance. I actually don't remember what my playoff picks were, but even regardless, I would have thought they
I gotta
were,
look back
like
at those,
it wouldn't
actually.
be a surprise. Like it wouldn't be a surprise if had they made it. I
Yeah.
don't know if they would have done anything, but it wouldn't have been a surprise that they made it.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing, I don't think I talked to you guys since this. I went to see the Islanders play Edmonton. I went to see McDavid in person.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
How'd that
yes.
go?
It was
Did
fantastic.
the Oilers win? Isles win?
The Oilers won in overtime. I got to see some 3-on-3.
Oh, nice.
Hey, overtime game against the Oilers, not bad. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
it was pretty awesome. Draisaitl won in OT, but I watched. So Edmonton got a power play in overtime, and Adam Pelech broke his stick. So it was basically a 4-on-2 with Draisaitl and McDavid, and I'm like, this is it. But the Islanders actually killed it. And Adam Pelech, at one point, we were right behind the net. He threw his body across the ice to block a Draisaitl one-timer, and he just took it right off the leg. And he got up real slow. But
Damn.
holy shit, like seeing a defenseman commit like that, just the whole body into the block, that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Just watching McDavid warm up, just watching how he skates, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. It looks like he moves like 10 times more efficiently than any other teammate, and they're all in the NHL. I don't get it.
Yep. It's pretty wild. He is one of a kind, that guy.
He is.
One of a
But
kind.
yeah, boy, that's it for Islanders talk, and that's it for me.
All
I'm
right.
gonna head.
Well, hey, have a good roller game. You score a goal and you text us about it.
Yeah. Bar down, ski clapper from the point, bud.
Dude, rip one at someone's nuts.
To be honest, last
The
game,
Danielle head shake in the background really brought that together.
last game I missed, and we played a team that was a bunch of jackasses. So honestly, I feel like if we were playing that team again, my teammates would be like, "Yeah, definitely do that." Actually,
Oh, yeah.
If you get the opportunity, go for
Yeah.
it.
Rip it, dude. All right. Good luck, bud.
I'll let you know. All right, boys, take care.
Yeah.
Could we maybe take a small break with?
Oh,
the
yeah.
departure?
All right. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back. And shit, I guess we'll talk about the Lightning. And I don't know. That's probably about it.
I guess you
Think
can
of something
sort
else.
of maybe if we can touch base on maybe some news. We don't know. Oh, fantasy.
Bit of fantasy. We do have to talk about fantasy because we're about done. We're about done.
Don't want to
Yep,
talk
just
about
about.
And Nick doesn't want to talk about it. All right. We will be back.
All right.
All right. And we're back. We were just having a fascinating discussion about taxes. But we're
that's great.
we're gonna end that. All right, let me talk about the Lightning. Then we can go do some fantasy, and that's pretty much it.
I can't think if there's any other big stories around. The league, but-
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's a
so.
shitload
Look
of stuff
into
we
it.
haven't
Look
done
into it
anything
while
for a month.
Mickey gives
Oh,
us
St. Louis. We got to talk about St.
Okay,
Louis.
yeah,
but-
we'll talk about St. Louis. Yeah. So the Lightning have been very, very hot. They've turned it on, and I've liked what I've seen. They've lost their last 2 games, so that's not great. But from what I can understand, is they've been goalied multiple times. Like they've had a large majority of the chances, a large majority of the possession, and they've just been unable to get the puck in. So I'm not too upset about that. I'd prefer them to start winning, especially against like Buffalo. Come on, dude. But hey, you know what? Sometimes it doesn't happen for you. But I think they're playing a good system, and I think they're playing in a way that when they get into the playoffs, because they have clinched. I guess I could say that they've clinched the playoffs. Don't know where
did
they'll
they?
be yet, but they are in the dance. But they're playing in a way that I think will translate well, and
Right.
And I mean, who knows? It's gonna be either way, whoever they end up playing, it's basically gonna be kind of a toss up. And I feel like the Lightning have kind of slid under the radar this year, because people have been like, "That's the Lightning. They're whatever. They're not like whatever. They're this and that."
Yeah.
And but they're second in the Atlantic. Like they're up there. They have I think the second highest goal differential in the league behind Winnipeg.
Honestly, I
So-
think they're the better Florida team this year. Like,
I
think.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because Kachuk's been out for how long, and well, I'll tell you this: a big positive for the Lightning is Vasi is starting to look like Vasi again.
Is Vasi
And-
back?
He is, I believe, in most goalie stats, he is second to one goalie, and that is Connor Hellebuck. So,
Right. Because, yeah. Because
so
the Jets are
if he can
stupid
continue
this
that,
year.
yeah, if he can continue that, they'll have a good chance against anyone. So, and you know what? I gotta eat my words here about Jakey Gensel. What
Yeah,
what a player! What a player! He's
What's-
leading the
what's
team in
very
What's
high
goals.
on
looking
him,
like
Nick?
right now?
When the deal was made, you were not thrilled.
Well, I mean, it's a very fan reaction when
It
you
was a
have
fan
a
reaction.
player like Stamkos being what he was, leaving. Like that, I get that.
And in my defense, I was correct when I said my big thing was Gensel's never had a season better than the season Stamkos just had at whatever
Right.
he is, 33.
Did he just do that? I
And
don't
in
know
my
what he's at right
defense,
now.
that was correct at the time. Let me look. Now I'm not so sure. Team stats. let me see here. He is 38 and 36, 74 points. He's not killing it
So
in the
still
points
not
department.
better.
Still not better
Where
points wise.
Stamkos is at this year.
Yes. Yes, he is much. Yeah. Braden Point actually leading the team, and so you know what else I like about this, and I'm glad I looked at this and thought of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players on the Lightning with 20 or more goals
Damn.
on the season. One of them is Oliver Bjorkstrand, so not all 20 with the Lightning.
Right, but still, good
But
player.
you have 7 20 goal scorers on a team. That's more than half of your offensive lineup is able to pot goals, which is very
Damn.
big.
Yeah.
Very big. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know if it'll be great. And it's
How's Yanni been since he's come back over?
he's not really done a whole lot. I don't know. He's pretty old, man. I think he plays a tough game, and that's starting to show because
But
he's not doing much.
Clearly, they've all sort of helped balance out the lines a bit more, and it's a bit more cohesive because they've been hot lately.
Yeah, I mean, oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean, I want to say Yanni Gord has been like the third line
Third
guy,
line, which
maybe.
I think makes sense.
He might have been on the wing too. I think he's on the wing of like Nick Paul or something. And then Bjorkstrand has been on like the fourth line. So
I feel like those will be some nasty lines to deal with once playoff rules come into effect.
Yes, I'm hoping the same. I'm hoping the same. Yeah.
But speaking of playoffs, if you're wrapped up on, are you wrapped up on Tampa?
Yes.
Or,
yeah, there's nothing else.
We got to talk about our fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, so fantasy playoffs were the last 3 weeks, I think.
Yes, I do believe.
Am I still signed in on this, or am I gonna have to pull the phone up? No, I'm still signed in. So the end of the regular season, I believe it was. I wish I could look again at the thing, but I can look right here. So the end of the regular season, Tony was up top. My dad was in second. Then it was, what was it? You, Benny, were in third, I think.
Yes.
At the end of the regular season, and then it was me, then it was Danielle, and then it was my mom, and then that ends the top bracket, the championship bracket. And so I beat Danielle in the first round. Then I went on to play Tony, and honestly, I'm kind of mad because I think going into like the Saturday, I was behind by like 16 points or something. And then Tony's team went and got like 70 something, and my team basically got, I think, like 30 points or something total. So he just took a huge lead, and then I didn't have a chance, and then he ended up smoking me.
Sorry, I have the game on over there.
And
anyway.
It appears as though the Canadians have scored.
They did indeed. Cole Caulfield. Anyway.
And then so Benny beat my mom in the first round.
Yes.
And then lost to my dad, who was in second. So basically the top seeds are just kind of doing it. And then wouldn't you know, the week after I lose to Tony, he is sitting here with 285 points against my dad's nearly 400.
Which I don't know what their situation is like, but I did want to bring something up, which I was gonna let go because like it was the rules we went into it with.
If it's gonna be the difference in games, I don't think I can do anything about that.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's why I think the two player add and swap kind of fucks me, because I did my 2 player like swaps and I still ended up with like a 10 game difference in that week against your dad, and I just it just got to a point where I was like, I just can't. There's nothing.
Yeah. Well,
so I don't know what the solution is, but
this is what I'll say about that is that if it's that drastic, there'll be some difference. But I think a lot of the time, if you see, there's this many games, I think some of those games in hand will be offset, because I think if you have a full lineup, you're going to be missing 4 of them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times that's what it ends up being. But yeah,
I think is what happened. That's what happened with the week I had against your mom, where that did happen where I had that gap at that week as well, and then it just
It goes
there
away.
was enough nights where she had just like her whole roster playing, couldn't play him, and then I ended up squeaking it out. But then it just, with the way the games lined up, it didn't work with your dad.
Yeah.
But still, it was still a tight week. And I mean, it was a good team anyway. Like, it was gonna be tough.
They're the top two teams. Yeah.
Yeah, it was top two teams. And then with the way things are playing out tonight, it looks like the top three are just going to be what the regular season finished as.
Except my dad's about to win. My dad's
is it about to
that
flip
first
flop?
spot.
The
My
1-2
dad's
is
about to
going to
take the
flip
first
flop.
spot, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I will
no two-peat for Tony.
no 2-peat. Thank God, dude, because that would piss me off.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Your dad finished last year, right?
He drafted first.
Which means he finished last this preseason
Yeah.
previous.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy because we've seen in years past too. Like, I know drafting has been a little bit different in the last couple seasons, but the ways that we've done this, like, you generally, like, it doesn't really, just because you're picking first doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get back up there, right? Like, your dad went from being first 2 years ago, right? Because it was me and him at the top,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
Tony won last year, and your dad's winning again. So he picked last
Season
year.
before this one, he picked last, and he was very upset about it because I switched up the because that was the season that I switched up the setup.
And he played, and he had a bad season, right? But then he just completely turned around, and now he's back at the top.
In my defense, he drafted Connor Brown.
Yeah, I think that's partially on him. But
he drafts Connor Brown.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, he plays with McDavid. I'm like,
yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
I guess.
But I think the thing that, even with our bigger league this year, the thing that allows for that with us is it's still a small enough league where we have enough leeway where there's always going to be somebody popping off on the waiver wire. There's always a few unexpected ones every year. And then even with the guys you do expect, there's still, I mean, there was 10 teams this year. There's 32 teams in the NHL. Like, there's going to be a shitload of good players. So I think that's part of what allows for our league to have such, like, big swings, because any given year the guys that maybe go early on in our draft might have an off year, and the guys that go in the second round in our draft are still fucking nuts. So, like, they might have a good year.
It's like they're superstars until basically round 4.
Right,
Yeah,
like
round 4,
last year.
being like,
Last year, everybody would have wanted to have Swayman on their team, right? But this year, you're like, they've kind of been asked. So, like, which means he hasn't been a great person to have on your team. Or, like, a couple years ago, I had Georgiev, right? He was great for Colorado, but then he was fucking god awful at the beginning of the season. So I was
to the point where Colorado's like, we have to reshape our entire goalie core, and then it was a good call. They did a very good job.
Yeah, then they did. Yeah.
Right. So to your point, exactly right. Like, you can, and you can keep these players thinking, oh, this guy's gonna be good. I'm not gonna have to worry about that. Like, I'm gonna go into this offseason thinking I've got Sorokin, I'm all set, right? But that doesn't mean anything, because the Islanders could be trash next season, and he could just shit the bed too,
That's the thing for me. Yeah, like, I have Pasternak, but the way the Bruins are going is making me think about what I got to look at what other forwards I have, because I don't know if there's anybody that realistically is going to match Pasternak, but it's enough to make me ponder.
Yeah. This is my first year that I feel like I haven't really, like, given the time to fantasy that I had in years past. Like, I used to be pretty, like, on top of things, and maybe the limiting on transactions might have done it as well, because it's just like, when we were able to swap players in and out constantly, it's like you get to a point in the season where you look at your points and you're like, fuck, if I really, let's just, like, overhaul this for the next 2 weeks, like, I can get in a good spot here.
Well, that's why I'll think about it, and maybe we add 1 or 2 more moves for the weekly moves, because 2 2 is very limiting, but I
I
don't.
do like the idea of a limit.
There
I'm
c-
not
you-
saying I don't like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I even if it's just for like I don't know if you can even
Oh, for
do this,
just
but even if
playoffs?
it's even if it's just playoffs,
I
if you can like
wonder.
bump it up to like 4 or something,
I'll have to look at that.
just
Yeah,
because it's so much more significant, and
I'll have to
it's
look at that.
because there are just some situations where if you just get a shitty hand with the way whatever schedule, whatever teams goes, it
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
also limits like the behind backdoor deals like we've done over the years, right? Like if somebody's in the basement, you just sell off, you just dump your roster, right? And
that's
then
not
Yeah.
happened
then
yet.
whoever's in the
Surprisingly,
playoff
I was
has
happy
the
to see
ticket.
that didn't really happen this year.
Well, as soon as I missed, I was like, fuck this, I'm not going back on it anymore.
Oh, did you tank or
No, I missed the playoffs, so I was like,
Oh.
there's no reason for me to log
he
back in. So I
yeah
haven't
he
even thought
just
about it.
stopped. So there is a consolation bracket, which I think
Oh.
is
Yeah.
the stupidest thing because like. Why would you want to try to win the consolation bracket?
Oh no, like I remember the year I
I
was
wanna get
out, I
fourth.
tanked immediately. I was like, get rid of all this shit. Go get off my roster,
Yeah.
please. As
Yeah,
soon as we
so
had
how do I
that
look at
effect
that?
draft order, I was like, yeah, no, get the fuck out of
Oh,
here.
here we
What?
go. Yeah, so the consolation bracket, everybody had a bye because we don't have that many teams. Nick, you lost to Mitch barely by like 10 points. And
And I didn't even set my
I know.
roster, so if he tried, that's sad.
I don't believe he did. I don't think they are.
I think you both were.
I think both of
doing
those.
anything.
I think Mitch and Annie are both kind of just whatever happens. But you are gonna win, so you are gonna end up drafting second next year. So yeah, dude, it's quite a thing. But I gotta say, it is impressive that Tony has gotten first both years in a row. Because he drafted first. No,
2 years ago.
did
The
he?
season your dad won, I think no.
The year after he drafted first, maybe.
So he won last year, which means he would have drafted last
That's
year.
what he drafted last this season.
Wasn't
and
he
he
the one
still
who got
won. He still
McDavid
had the most.
as a guy because he didn't have a keeper?
Oh, that's So this is what happened.
Yeah.
No. So what
Which
happened was
I understood it at the time.
This
and
is
I'm
what
not
happened.
mad about it.
It was
It's a good spot to be in.
It was, and I probably shouldn't have done it, but I was like, yeah, he's coming in. Why don't we do this? I took Cody's team.
Oh, right,
I took
right.
Cody's
Yep.
team, who was not doing it again, and I was like, hey, here you go. If you want to keep any of these players, I'm just gonna give you this roster, basically. He's like,
Right.
well, yeah, I think I'll keep McDavid.
I mean, yeah.
And I was like,
I mean,
I
that's
would
the
do
shit that
the
always
same
pissed us
thing.
off about Cody's team too. Was he always had good rosters or decent rosters,
And then he
but
just
never
would do
fucking
it for like
played.
a month, and then you would have McDavid on the bench for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just looking at it, and you're like, man, what are you doing? But yeah, so that's what ended up happening. But listen, that's the thing. This season, it's not even McDavid. Like McDavid, he's had a good season, but like,
Right.
it's
Yep,
not even
yep.
him. I don't even know who it is. I haven't even looked at his team. He just has got an insane team.
He must have just drafted well. Otherwise,
But I just want to throw out, and for some reason I can't look at the league history and look at. I think it's probably in here, and I just haven't looked at it. I just can't find it. But I wanted to see. I'm fairly certain I placed third last year, and then I'm fourth now. I've been fairly consistently right in the middle, which kind of sucks.
this is tied for my third best finish ever.
Oh, wow.
I've not had a lot of luck. I've had a second place finish and a third place finish, and this will be my third place finish.
There you go.
I think
I'm
this might
still
be my
pissed about
worst
that
of all
second
time.
place because I could have had that.
This is
fucking
definitely
year.
your
That was our
worst.
last year of points, and yes, this is almost
definitely
certainly
your worst, Nick. 100%.
Dropping Clef Bombs had a poor season this year,
That's
folks.
fine. Listen, they'll be back. You're gonna have second pick, dude.
I was saying you're gonna have a good
You might have
pick,
first pick if Mitch and Annie are like, yeah, we can't do this. You might have first pick.
That's true.
You might be
true.
grabbing. I don't even know who would be available. Don't even know.
Stud. Maybe it'll be Pasta.
It'll be some
Who
stud.
knows?
I'll tell you who's available, but you probably don't want to grab him. Is Elias Pettersson. God, what a son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
He's gonna get picked in like the 9th round next year or something, and then that's gonna be the year he pops off for whoever gets him.
Mhm.
Like that's what's gonna happen.
And you know what? I don't even want him. Even if he
No,
pops off, I do not want him.
You were very fair to him this year. You
I
were too
gave
fair.
him
You
like
you kept
months, dude. I was like,
you
he's
kept
gonna do it.
waiting.
He's gonna do
Yeah,
something.
you kept
Nope.
waiting, and then
He
it
never did
never
it.
came.
And I eventually
Never
was just
came.
like, "Fuck this, man!" I dropped him, and then Eric grabbed him. I think off like not. I don't even think he grabbed him off waivers. I think he was sitting in the free agent pool.
He
Eric was
was
like,
around
"Oh."
for long enough to just become a free agent, and so he's like, oh.
Eric just found him. Was like, "Oh," and then I'm pretty sure weeks later, Eric dropped him.
Yeah,
Dude,
because he did not
awful,
have a good
man.
year.
He was awful.
It was a bad year. That I'm wondering what's going on there, just in Vancouver in general. But like,
It's
we know Pedersen. Like Pedersen didn't just lose talent in like the last 2 years. Like we've seen what he can do. Like, I'm still so
yeah.
confused about
Well,
that.
here. Well, you know what? We'll wrap up this episode, and I can tell you guys some interesting stats I have because we do have a fantasy leaguer's record book.
Oh,
Yes.
Ooh.
Let's have a look. So here we go for goals, single week record for this year, I believe, is Benny with 25.
Oh shit! Damn,
Yeah.
Ovi was probably part of that.
And then all time. So all time for how, as long as the league's been going, it's Tony in 2023, the 2023 season, with 26. So you almost got him. Yep.
Damn it.
And then for the season all time, Benny, you in 2022, the 2022-23 season, 357.
I think that was the one
goals.
I choked away, and your dad took. I think that was our last year of doing points based, and I'm still mad about that one because I held on to 2 guys that were injured for far too long. Teams kept fucking saying day to day.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the best move we had. I would say the best setting change that you made.
Yes, if they're injured, IR. Yep.
I found, I would have done that. I finally found it, and I was like, oh, this is
setting, and you're like, okay.
It does cause problems, though. I will say that because you can, if you don't like, I don't know. You guys obviously are a little bit more in tune with watching your fantasy app more than me. Obviously, I left so many points on my bench all season, but I would take a guy who was on day to day, shift him onto IR, and then forget that I did that, and then like 4 days later, I'd look at it and be like, "Fuck, this guy just scored." Like I look back at the days prior, I'm like, "This guy scored and had like 18 points, and he's on my fucking IR. He's not even on my bench."
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Well,
listen, hey, here it is. Just like in real life, single week all-time assists. Mikey's Bastards. You know it's me. 35 assists in 1 week, and that was this year.
Damn. All right.
Oh my gosh, dude. The best season all time is my mom from the 2021-22 season. 604.
Wow.
To put that into perspective, Eric is the highest this year with 469.
That's like a generational year. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. She just had all the assist people.
I guess. Would she have like fucking Mitch Marner that year or something?
I don't remember.
Probably.
That was she did really well that year. Let's see. Anything else fun? Goalies. Let's look at some goalies here. Oh, here we go. It's a tie. 3-way tie for weeks for single week all-time wins. You, Nick, myself, and Danielle. 7 wins. And then the best season all time, goalie wins, like goaltender wins for the week. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
And then season all time is you, Nick, with 104. You had some insane goaltenders.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
I mean,
shit, dude. I wish I could see the standings.
There was also like I've always played the mindset of have a lot of goalies on my team because they just score you the most points if they do good.
Yeah.
Right? So like I'm constantly throwing 3 goalies out there, right? Or not 3 out there, but I'd have 3 on my roster. So like if one's out or one's not playing, the other one's generally playing. So it's just like it's a probability game. So that doesn't surprise me a whole lot, to be completely honest with you.
that you have
But
that many
that's still
wins.
cool to know.
Yeah. Yep. I was hoping I could see somewhere in here. I'll have to have a look, and because I'm curious about it. Somewhere in here is a history of you can see, and
Drafting.
maybe in the off season you can actually see not the drafting but the standings. You used to be
Oh.
able to go back and see standings from old seasons, and I'm
From
wondering.
year to year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if, like, I'm thinking that maybe in the off season I'll be able to do that, but for some reason I can't right
Interesting.
now. But you know what? That's about enough time for today, gentlemen. What do you think?
I think that
No.
is a good plan. We've been talking.
All right.
We've been gabbing.
All right. Well, hey, we'll see everybody in a couple weeks time, right before slash a game or two into the playoffs, and we'll get involved then, and we'll have a look at I'll go look up our playoff teams, and we'll have a look at how those compare to what happened in real life. Not gonna be good.
Not gonna be good.
And then, hey, you know what we'll do is we'll do our little brackets as well, because we're so good at.
We got to make the predictions again.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
We need a second chance for the year.
We do. We need a second chance, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and one of us will have the cup winner. I believe Eric
Yeah, they have
picked
to
the
win
cup
the cup.
winner last year or the year before. One of the years Eric picked a cup winner, and I forget when it was, but I think he did it. But regardless, we'll see everybody in a couple weeks. Stay cool, and yeah, about it.